Hey there, everybody. We're going to talk about rationalizing to find a limit. Very common style question, and a lot of things have been coming up. So one of the good examples I've seen is the limit as x approaches 1 of the square root of x minus 1 all over x minus 1. If you were to evaluate it, you'd get 0 divided by 0. Oh, too bad. This is an indeterminate form. And so whenever you have indeterminate form, you need to work with it a little bit. If it was that's 3 plus 2. If we had this, well, that is a candidate to factor. Because if I factor it, then things cancel. Well, these ones over here, the square roots, don't factor. But one of the things we can do is it's a process called rationalizing. And so let's show you what that looks like. What you do is you multiply what we refer to as the conjugate. And so here's what the conjugate is to the top. Square root of x plus 1, on the bottom, square root of x plus 1. If I multiply it by this is a glorified form of 1 because it's the same on top and bottom, so it just doesn't affect anything. It does change the way it looks. This is like converting from dollars to francs. It makes it look different, but it's still the same thing. So the top, if I were to distribute the top out, I get the square root of x quantity squared minus 1 quantity squared divided by, and most of the students I have are tempted to do fancy stuff in the bottom. Don't. Because remember, the point of this is to cancel something. So if you were to put them together, you'd have to factor them in a moment. Well, what does this equal? This equals limit is x goes to 1 of x minus 1 divided by x minus 1. Please tell me you see that. What can I do? Hopefully you see it. I can cancel these. And as I cancel them, the last mistake that I see a lot is right here, is when you cancel the top, you're left with a 1 on the bottom. On the top, excuse me. You're left with a 1 on the top. And so now limits as x approaches 1. Well, plug it in, and so I get 1 divided by square root of 1 plus 1, which I think you can do, is 1/2. Let's do one more practice one, and then we'll call it a night. All right, let's make one up. This will be fun. Limit as x goes to as x approaches 7 of the square root of x plus 2 on top minus 3 on the outside divided by x minus 7. Well, I need to multiply it by the conjugate. Well, what's my conjugate? My conjugate is the square root of x plus 2 plus 3 over square root of x plus 2 plus 3. Since those are the same, it doesn't change it. It changes the way it looks a lot. So let's do it out. X approaches 7. The top, I have the square root of x plus 2 quantity squared minus 3 squared all over x minus 7 times square root of x plus 2 plus 3. Well, let's simplify the top. As x approaches 7 of x plus 2 minus 9 all over x minus 7, square root of x plus 2 plus 3. And the top, well, plus 2 minus 9 is 7. So this is going to cancel out with this. And so I'm left with limit as x approaches 7 of 1 divided by square root of x plus 2. I promise that's an x. Plus 3. So you plug in. So 1 divided by the square root of 9 plus 3 is 1 divided by 3 plus 3, which is 1 divided by 6. If you're sticking into a calculator and graph it, you would get that. So if you were to use a table, you would also get that. And then some of you out there would factor the bottom. Problem is it's kind of difficult sometimes to factor into square roots, but some of you use that strategy, so just want to value that. Those are your different ways of doing it. Lastly, if you're coming in and using this as a review, the last one, if you were in chapter 8, L'Hopital's rule. That is another option. Problem is for the top, the derivative isn't very easy. So that's if you're in chapter 7. I'm coming back. Sorry, chapter 8, coming back. All right, thanks for tuning in. You guys have a wonderful evening. Talk to you later.